Okay, I am in desperate need of a haircut. Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are doing some hot and cold. This is a video series I like to do where I talk about the best and worst music over the past week, the hot being the best, the worst being the cold, and some middle of the road tracks as well. As per usual, the songs will be linked down below in the description. If you want to check out any of them, they'll all be there. And if you have any future recommendations, any new songs you want me to listen to, review, talk about, just to tell me. Speaking about those songs, I have a recommendation here. I gotta give a shout out to Ben over at Legend BTV. He gave me this song to listen to. It's not brand new, it's on a new album that just came out, but the single has been out for a while. This is Like It Is by Kygo, Zara, Larsson, and Tyga. And what I have to say about it, Zara, she has a very emphatic delivery in the first verse on here. The Kygo production is pretty much par for the course for him. Nothing remarkable, but nothing technically flawed. Tyga's verse, he tones down what he normally raps about. He doesn't really make as many sexual references. You can tell he's trying to be radio friendly, commercial friendly here, just rapping about relationships. The song overall, though, it's safe. I don't think Kygo has been pushing the boundaries of what pop music can be, and Zara Larsson, she doesn't really bring much to this track. Sorry, Ben. The song just stays in a comfortable bubble. Maybe it's Bubble Buddy, SpongeBob, who knows. Moving on to the best of the week hot tracks. First up, we have ROSALÍA and Travis Scott. They have come together for a track called Tickin'. And it's funny because I've heard this same kind of Latin beat on many other songs, but this sounds fresh. I gotta give it to the banging and poppin' production here. Also just the chemistry between Travis and ROSALÍA. Moving on from there, we have Oliver Tree with Bury Me Alive. This is a very eclectic song. The hook sounds like it's Milky Chance's signature kind of reggae folksy approach there. The rap delivery on here sounds like a mix of Yellow Wolf. We even have some turntable scratching, which makes this track sound like old school rap at points too. So despite pulling from all these different areas and different sounds over the years, this is a pretty enjoyable track from Oliver Tree. And new Oliver Tree album dropping June 12th. Get hyped. Get hyped. Another hot track, I gotta give it to my boy, Jake Bugg, with his latest single, Rabbit Hole. Jake Bugg, he is a singer-songwriter. He's got a lot of rock tunes under his belt at this point. He's got a little country influence to him, just a tad. This new track, though, it's got a snappy chorus. It is really good. So don't miss this track this week because, Jake, he's continuing to write great songs that probably don't get enough of your attention. So I'm spotlighting this one this week. I'm spotlighting Jake Bugg as an artist because he's just underappreciated. Another underappreciated artist this week, I gotta give it to JS Ondara. He has a new track out, a new album as well. This new song I want to talk about here, though, is Pulled Out of the Market. With this one, I'm getting a lot of Bob Dylan vibes with this. We have the harmonica on there. And this song, it opens up the narrative, the story on this new album that JS has seen fit to release this past week. I don't really want to spoil much of that story because I am looking forward to reviewing that album as a whole. But for this song, I can just give it a lot of praise for the vocals. The vocals are just soaring. They sound beautiful as always from JS. Next up, we have Billie Joe Armstrong of Green Day with a Manic Monday cover of Prince. Originally written by Prince, it was famously performed by the Bangles. Billie Joe, he has been recording these famous songs as part of his No Fun Mondays series on YouTube. This track here has been out for a while, I think about a month at this point, but it's finally now being released officially on streaming services. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe one of the Bangles members is actually featured on this track. Overall, it's just a solid rock song with the Billie Joe Armstrong Green Day kind of treatment. I enjoy it because I stan Green Day. Also, last week we have a new track from JPEGMAFIA, the experimental hip-hop artist. His latest track is entitled Cutie Pie. The lyricism is sharp, as always, from JPEG Mafia. It's also notably current for this time. Maybe not as topical and about the pandemic, but still about pop culture at large in the past year. The instrumental as well, I'm really digging this. It just sounds old school simultaneously, like an experimental lounge music song. It's like I'm being booked into a hotel of the future. Good stuff there. Moving on, we have the Lemon Twigs with Moon. This is a retrospective kind of rock track. I can't quite put my finger on exactly what is influencing this track, but it does sound like a cacophony of like 70s, 80s rock. The production is a little rough around the edges, and I think that's done on purpose, and it still ends up being a well-performed and well-written song. And now, lastly, wrapping up the hot tracks for this week, we have Freddie Gibbs and Tyler, the Creator, coming together. Well, actually, it's with the Alchemist, but it features Tyler, the Creator. The song is called Something to Rap About. Strong wordplay from both Freddie Gibbs and Tyler. There's a stark difference between the lyrical subjects that are tackled between the first verse and the second verse. The first verse is pretty dark. This is the one that's given by Freddie, rapping about the drug and thug life. The second verse from Tyler, however, is talking about fame. Just a nice contrast. I don't know, like we have a lot of rappers that do like to talk about drugs, and we have the rappers that will flaunt their success. My favorite line on the track, I can't overlook this, gotta give a shout out to Tyler for it. He rhymes coffin with coughing. I don't know, I thought that was pretty clever. Meanwhile, while all that's happening, this is over like an entrancing kind of instrumental. Yeah, just puts me in a trance. Okay, so joke's on you, I'm not actually done with the hot tracks. I forgot to talk about the new Brockhampton singles, and because they haven't been putting all of them on streaming services on Friday, I naturally forget about them, and I don't really write down my thoughts because I usually keep track of all of these songs in a playlist. Excuse aside, anyways, what I think of these two new songs. One's called Fishbone, the other is Chain On, Hold Me. And both are great. Both, I think, are approaching the level of quality that Ginger or Iridescence had. I feel like there's a greater sense of group dynamics to them, and the production quality is notably a lot better, too. So I think we're getting things back on track with Brockhampton. Have been kind of mild on their new stuff lately. There have been a few good tracks, but nothing that could really rival their past work. Okay, so there's the hot tracks for this week. We are moving on over, rocking on over to the middle of the road tracks this week. Okay, not great, not terrible. Let's do it. First up, we have the Flaming Lips featuring Casey Musgraves with the song Flowers of Neptune 6. Now, if you remember last year, I loved the Flaming Lips record that they put out. It was very lush. It was cinematic at points as well. It was boundless with its atmosphere. This new track in comparison, though, I can't say I'm head over heels for it. It is switching things up. It is pretty limited and contained with its atmosphere. And I normally would say I'm okay with that if the tune was more memorable, because this one is just not really sticking with me. The instrumental palette, the arrangements, not really much is going on for it. Check it out if you want to hear what Casey Musgraves adds to this track, but I don't really think it's much, and I haven't really been much of a Casey Musgraves fan to begin with, but I know other people are, so yeah, this new tune is pretty progressive and more lo-fi than I would have liked. Keeping things going, we have Scott Hellman with Wait No More. This is a Canadian singer-songwriter. This track is pretty much boilerplate entry-level singer-songwriter with like pop. It's radio-friendly, of course. Not among one of Scott's greatest efforts, but it's okay. Orville Peck is a country artist from Canada. His new single here, No Glory in the West. This is very undercooked. Not much in terms of arrangement or charisma. It's still a tolerable country song, but I'm just hoping that this new EP that's coming out from Orville soon will have a bit more originality to it, because at this point he's kind of sounding like a a hybrid of Elvis and Johnny Cash. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I do admire both of those artists. I just want a little bit more in terms of Orville Peck's personality. Juice WRLD is back this week. Rest in peace. He has a new song with Trippie Redd, Tell Me You Love Me. That is the name of it. This is one of Juice WRLD's more technically skilled flows, I would say, on most of his tracks that I've heard. I also appreciate the strings towards the back half of this. The hook, though, it just overstays its welcome, in my opinion. Gets to be pretty annoying. Speaking about annoying, we have an annoying artist, as many people have described, Tones and I. They are back. I don't know if this is a group. I think it's just a singer. I have no idea. I don't listen to their music enough. But new single from Tones and I, You're So Effing Cool. Still not a fan of this voice. I've only heard the other track that went pretty big. Dance Monkey something, I don't know. The lyrics on this new track too are just atrocious. Like, they are so millennial, so fake woke. I could go without them. That being said, though, I do have to admit that I do like the synth beat drop on this track. And wrapping up the middle of the road tracks this week, we have another song from Jason Mraz. This is what I believe the third single we've gotten from this new album cycle from him. Again, sounding very positive, sounding very happy-go-lucky. So if you're in a really good mood, that's the only time I'd recommend this kind of song. It's called You Do You. Jason's singer-songwriter rapping type flow on here, I can't really say I'm as big of a fan as I once used to be of it. The chorus, though, easily the best part of this track. It is fun to sing along with. It's easily one of the catchier and stickier of this new album cycle that Jason's got going for himself right now. So yeah, we'll see how that new album from Jason turns out, but so far 3 okay, mediocre songs from him. Just nothing really warranting my re-listen or recommendation, sadly. But moving on from there, we have the cold tracks for this week, and we only have one to highlight. It is Cigarettes After Sex. The song is called You're All I Want, and the song, it's just a snooze fest, like not even in a pleasurable way. The guitars on here, they are so lifeless. The song just stays in the same place where it began. Like, if you listen to the first minute, that's pretty much what you get for the rest of the song. It's just off in its own little world. I'd have to compare it to, like, if you're playing baseball and you have like that one kid who's in the outfield and who's notorious for like picking dandelions, not even paying attention to the game. That's what this song is like. It's like that kid, and then he might get hit with the ball after someone hits it to the outfield. Yeah, that's what this song is to me. Anyways, there's Hot and Cold for this week. Make sure you sound off down below in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about these songs, if you've checked them out or not, if you will check them out. Thanks as always for watching. I appreciate it, as I typically do. If you'd like to leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town. I'd also appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Have a rockin' day.